What's good, people? What is up? What is up? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow right here all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Or you gonna run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to stop. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy. Well, hello. We'll start today with another Johnny Pop. How is everyone doing? I hope that we're all doing well. That is my hope and concern. I am well, and I am ready to come and bring you the news of the day. I know many of you all, like myself, have been working all day, and y'all looking for me to bring y'all the news of the day. What's been going on, L. Teddy? What is happening in these good streets? And I'm going to do that. Our Perrier of the day is the Forever Strawberry Perrier, and we're going to finish our Johnny Pop. How y'all doing today? Can y'all go ahead and press the like button? Just go ahead. That's your bell ringer assignment. Just press the like button. Share the video out. Do all of the things. Do all of the things. But yes, we have a jam-packed dossier. The dossier is jam-packed. I don't know how I'm going to get through everything, but we're going to do the best we can to get through it with fervency and zeal. This Johnny Pop is so good, y'all. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Uh, anyway, mm, let me make sure my Perrier is good too. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me say hi to y'all, and we'll get this party started. Hey, Janae. Hey, Janae. Hey, Boo. Hey, Terrence. What's good, bruh? There she go. There she is. My girl. Hey, Nessa. What's going on? Hey, Demetria. What's going on, beautiful? Crazy homebody girl. Everything all right over there? Down to the DMV? You okay over there? It's good to see you. We're glad to have you. It wouldn't be the same without you. Hey, Cassandra, you all right? She got Rick and Morty sticking middle fingers at us and stuff. Hey, Tracy W. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Opal. Mm-hmm. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. Now, I noticed, lovely 31 Blueprint. Girl, I had got used to you changing your avatar once every 10 days or so. And now you done had this same avatar for like a month or two. What's going on, lovely 31 Blueprint? I expect you to change your avatar. You done got me spoiled. Come on now. We love you, whatever avatar you have. Hey, Brown Mama. What's going on? Tam, are you all right over there, sweetheart? Mm-hmm. Hey, Ravine. Hey, Cams. Y'all see how I had to drop it down a couple octaves for Cams? You know, you have to get that rumble down under when you say hi to Cams. Hey, Cams. How you doing today? Mm-hmm. You got to do that. You got to drop it down an octave or two when you talk to Cams. We do. We absolutely do, Demetria. We absolutely do. Hey, Jeannie. It seemed like I just saw you too, girl. Girl. I just gave the grandbabies those same popsicles. Child, the Johnny Pops would be so good. Brown mama. Hey, Savon, what's going on, beautiful? Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up? Mm-hmm. Hey, Uncle Jay. How are you today? Mm-hmm. Brittany Janae is in the building. Candace F is here. We got Sharice all the way over on the West Coast. Hey, L Love, my love. Is it still cold up in Wisconsin, L Love? I figure it's still cold. Mm-hmm. Hey, Miss Baythang. Hey, China White. Ella MVP. How you doing, girl? Ella MVP. She be over there down to the members only chat. We be looking at the same thing. Me and Ella MVP be going through the members only chat, seeing what we can see. Looking at that, looking at that, and looking at that. Shout out to the members. It's still cold, child. Such a tragedy. Such a tragedy. Child. Y'all see Cams over there. Uncle Jay said he wore out. He had a little wrestling. Who you was wrestling with? Child, they don't want you out. Child, they sit there, honey. You out there wrestling. Ow! Wrestling, honey. Child, I need me a good wrestling session tonight, too. Let me see who I can call. See if I can get some good wrestling in. Child. You need to catch up because you was away on vacation. Okay. Yeah. You don't mind Nicole? I mind Nicole. I'm from Miami. We don't like Nicole. So y'all, let's go ahead and get this party started. You can't call it around there whoring. Child. Hoeing, sowing, new things growing. That's where they at. Okay. Child. Make sure you call them out when they roll up in this chat late for my class, Demetria. You make sure you call Xavier and Harold out because they are late for my class. Anyway. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender-conforming members of our audience, it's time for me to bring out the late, great Larry Myers. Larry, we ready. It's time for me to bring out the late, great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world. I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! How would somebody help me?
Jesus. You see, this the part that I like. Is it, Larry? That's the part you like? So, y'all, we had some breaking news as I was coming on. I wanted to bring that to you. Over in the in New York City, there was some breaking news as I was coming live. So I wanted to make sure I brought you that story. A helicopter has crashed into the Hudson River. A helicopter plummeted from the skies above New York City on this afternoon, crashing into the Hudson River, and the terrifying incident was caught on video. I am not going to show the video here, but it was caught on video. Multiple people have been killed, according to various local reports. Several shocked eyewitnesses recorded the helicopter on video. A portion of it can be seen at the surface of the water, while the rest appears to be submerged. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. According to police, the helicopter came down near Pier 40 between West Street and Canal Street shortly after 3 p.m. local time. Witnesses reportedly described hearing a loud thumping noise at the time of the crash. Emergency boats responded to the crash and reportedly pulled 2 people from the craft. Life-saving efforts were performed on at least 1 victim. It's unclear how many people were in the craft, but it's believed that at least 5 people were on board. 2 adults, a man and a woman, and 3 kids. At last report, there was indications of between 4 and 6 people dead from this crash. The cause of the crash is still not confirmed, but that's the latest information that I have right now. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with the families, friends and loved ones of the victims as they go through this tragedy at this hour. We start if anything else comes up, I'll keep you posted on that. But that was some breaking news that was breaking just as I was coming on. Wanted to give you that information. In other tragic news, I wanted to also start off with an update from the Dominican Republic. Now, if you recall the other day, I think they said there was like 100. When I reported on it the other day, it was like 112 victims. That number has now ballooned to 218 people that are now that have now lost their lives because of that roof collapse in Santo Domingo, down to the Dominican Republic, where they were at this they were at a concert at a club, at a nightclub and whatnot. Two former NFL, not NFL, MLB players were there. The singer who was performing at that time, he lost his life, along with those Major League Baseball players. And it's just a tragedy all around, just a tragedy. There were several government officials that were there. One of the governors was there. There were so many. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people that have lost their lives. Um, so we're praying for the citizens of the Dominican Republic, because this is just a tragedy all around. And I know, like I said the other day, hey, Katrina Taylor, there are a lot of people here that have family in Dominican Republic, that may have Dominican Republic ancestry, and may have loved ones still over there. But yeah, we're certainly praying. And I hate to start today off with two stories of tragedy, but here we are. Here we are. So we're certainly praying for the family, friends, and loved ones of the victims. In more sugar spiky news, so yesterday, as we were playing trade war games with China, and we reported on all of that, the tariffs. Then he took the tariffs off, but then he said, "No, screw you, China. I'm going to keep the tariffs on China." And it was 104% tariffs, but now they settled in on 125% tariffs on China. And when he did the 90-day pause on the tariffs, the stock market went up and had one of its best days in 16 years. And then we woke up this morning and the stock market plummeted yet again and lost more than half of the gains that they had made in that in all of the gains yesterday. Mhm. So the stock market plummeted again, well below 40,000. Dow Jones well below 40,000. So apparently, the S&P tumbled 3.5%. The Dow Jones lost 2.5%, and the Nasdaq lost 4.3%. But y'all wanted to elect him because of the economy. Oh, you should also know that the continued trade war games are being played, because remember how I announced to you that they had settled in on 125 percent tariffs. Well, they came back today and said, "Well, screw it. It ain't 125 no more. It's 145% tariff." So now we're just throwing numbers out there, as if you throwing numbers out there doesn't have detrimental effects on the economy. People's lives are involved here. People's 401ks are here being screwed with. There are a lot of people who I know that are on the brink of retirement, and so this is catastrophic to them. You playing these little games where you think you could just ramble off anything and there's no adverse effect. And now we see that there are dire consequences. So now he's bloviating and blathering about saying, "No, not 125, 145% tariffs now on China." I don't know what y'all want from me. I do not know what y'all want from me. Don't. I just report on this, okay? One of the biggest losses was the stock price of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery, their stock dropped 12.5% all today. Walt Disney's stock dropped almost 7%, 6.8%. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not all. Oh, it gets better, depending on what you consider better. So, um, here's the deal. Here's what's coming out. Uh, 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 Here's what's coming out now. So apparently, this is now. If you haven't spiked out yet, because some people say I don't really understand all of the Wall Street and all of the stock markets and economy and stuff and all of that stuff. Hey, V Carter, if you ain't spike out yet, here's the real spike out. So what we're learning is that your president, Donald John Trump, your president, he tipped off his family members and his other billionaire friends, letting them know that he was going to put a 90-day halt on the tariffs. That's why CNBC reported on it like 36 hours before it happened, because they had gotten that from a credible source. One of those billionaire friends of Donald Trump, they leaked it to CNBC. The White House comes out and say, "Oh no, that's a rumor. We never said that. We are not going to." They had planned to do it, but when the CNBC came out and said it, they had to push it further down, delay the 90-day pause, because this was never directed at the rest of the world. This was always directed at China because they have a hard on for China, right? So by tipping off his billionaire friends and his family members, what happens is stock market goes into a tailspin for a couple days. But when he puts the 90-day uh, uh, um, pause on, stock market skyrocket, and all of those people that invest, they all of those billionaire people and his family and friends started investing in it, just started buying more stocks just before he put the 90-day pause in, and they make millions. I mean, not millions, I'm sorry, billions with a B. He even gave he even gave a dog whistle to his billionaire friends. He put on Truth Social yesterday morning at 9:37 a.m. He wrote, quote, "This is a great time to buy DJT," end of quote. That's what he put on his social media yesterday morning. And that was the signal to all of his family and friends. Yeah, go ahead and buy. And sure enough, what happens? They do that. He puts the pause, stock market soar, and then he literally, now all of this is highly illegal now. Let's be clear, highly illegal. And then he has a press conference inside of the Oval Office where he can have all of his billionaire friends and say, "Oh, so and so made this many billion. So and so made this many hundreds of millions of dollars. So and so that he can look like he's the conquering hero for the economy." And then today happened. Hey TJ, what's going on, beautiful? We be missing you around these spots. Suck passe, my love. Yeah, this is happening. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Hey, Miss Shorty B. Hey, Chimera. So it appears to some people that all of this was a ploy to help him and his fellow billionaire friends make more money. Child. Listen. Apparently, there's more breaking news. Because two planes have clipped their wings at DCA Reagan National Airport with Congress members on board. Yeah, that happened as well to this afternoon. But we're firing. Air traffic controllers. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. A shit show. In more sugar spiky news, if you ain't spiked out yet, I'm doing the best. I needed that Johnny Pop at the beginning of the live to help regulate my sugar levels because I knew what was coming. I produced the show. I knew what was coming, so I knew I was going to need that Johnny Pop. Well, let me read this to you. House Republicans, for a second time, passed a standalone bill that would require proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections and impose voter roll purge requirements on states. The legislation, formally titled the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or SAVE Act, passed 220 to 208. Watch this. Listen to this. 4 Democrats voted in favor of the bill with the Republicans. That would be Representative Ed Case of Hawaii, Representative Henry Cuellar of Texas. Y'all know, just wait right there because I got some things to say about his bitch ass. Representative Jared Golden of Maine and Representative Marie Glusenkamp Perez of the great state of Washington. Let me finish reading the article and then I'll get back to Henry Cuellar in just a second. It's already illegal for those who are not U.S. citizens to vote in federal elections and has been since 1996. But proponents of the bill have argued it is necessary to prevent migrants from voting in elections, a claim contradicted by data showing only a handful of documented cases. Quote, there is nothing more sacred under the Constitution than ensuring that people are able to have the voice in the election of the people that represent them in Washington and throughout the country, end of quote. And that's according to Representative Chip Roy of the great state of Texas, one of the sponsors of the bill. He thanked Cleta Mitchell, an attorney who helped President Trump challenge his 2020 election, for her work on the bill, because the person who helped write the bill with him was one of the lawyers who challenged the 2020 election. Representative Roy went on to say, once that is undermined, then people lose faith in the very institutions upon which this is built. This legislation is designed to restore faith to save our elections, to save election integrity. End of quote. Democrats argue the bill is a misguided effort to ban an already illegal practice and will just make it tougher for Americans to vote, including scores of people who don't readily have proof of citizenship. Representative Joseph Morrell of the great state of New York noted that senior citizens are especially unlikely to have needed documents and that even a military ID would not qualify as acceptable documentation under this act. I'm trying, y'all. Y'all see, I keep having a sip because I'm trying to regulate my sugar levels. Representative Roy went on to, Representative Morrell, Democrat out of New York, went on to say, quote, Republicans would force Americans into a paperwork nightmare, burying voter registration under a mountain of bureaucracy and red tape. Under the SAVE Act, most Americans would be unable to register to vote using their real ID. Let me read that again. Under the SAVE Act, most Americans would be unable to register to vote using their real ID. Further, under the SAVE Act, almost 70 million American women will be unable to register to vote using their birth certificate simply because they changed their name upon marriage. And the SAVE Act will also have a steep financial cost to American citizens because, yes, the SAVE Act does allow Americans to use their passports to register to vote, but half of all Americans do not have a passport, and a passport costs $130. End of quote. When the Republicans first introduced this legislation last year, Speaker Mike Johnson said, while it's tough to prove migrants are voting in the U.S. elections, it's something the party intuitively knows is happening. Let me read that again. When Republicans first introduced the legislation last year, Speaker Mike Johnson said, while it's tough to prove migrants are actually voting in U.S. elections, it's something the party intuitively knows is happening. Mike Johnson went on to say, quote, we all know intuitively that a lot of illegals are voting in federal elections, but it's not been something that is easily provable. We don't have the number. This legislation will allow us to do exactly that. It will prevent that from happening. And if someone tries to do it, it will now be unlawful within the states. End of quote. It's already unlawful, sir. However, the data says differently. One study by the Brennan Center for Justice found 30 suspected, not confirmed, but 30 suspected cases of non-citizen voting out of 23.5 million votes cast. Let me say that again. 30 suspected, not confirmed, but suspected cases out of 23.5 million, which equates to 0.0001 or 1,000th of a percentage point. So here's what you have. I can stop there. Y'all are like I always tell y'all, they're making rules for problems that they don't have, because the point is not the fact that there's a problem. The point is the cruelty of it all. That's the whole point of this. The whole point is the cruelty of it all. They are making wholesale laws for a problem that does not exist. Now, they're not even taking military IDs for this law, right? Right? You can go and lose your life or lose a limb to fight for this country, but that ain't enough to allow you to vote. Making shit up. Mind you, I should remind you that Henry, you have Democrats that are voting for this. You have Democrats
that are voting for this. The point is, they do not want you to vote. What happened to all of this? Oh, we need to put stuff back in the states, in the hands of the states. Isn't it the duty of the states to determine the manner in which they want voting to take place? Whether that be state, local, or federal elections? What happened to all of that jazz about, oh, this needs to go, states need to have the right to do what they want, and now states don't have the right? Matter of fact, the bill has a provision for states to purge their voting rolls, and when they purge you off the voting rolls, even if they purge you incorrectly, now here's what's going to happen: it's going to be harder for you to register to vote again. It's on purpose. They do not want you to vote. Let's be clear, because they know the more people vote, the more they're not going to be in power. Now, this has to go to the Senate. You think they don't? Do you really believe that they're not going to have the numbers in the Senate to pass this? I just want y'all to be aware of what's happening. That's why you hear me saying, check your voter registration once a month. Set a reminder on your calendar. Every 15th of the month, check your voter registration, because you never know if you've gotten purged. So many people I know have said to me, yes, they purged me off. Now they have to go and try and register to vote, which now is much more difficult. Now you got to bring your passport. You listen, ID may not be enough. You need to bring a passport. But we have people like fucktards like Henry Cuellar voting for this. I should remind you, this is the same fucking. Let me hold on, because I'm gonna try not to spike out when I get this out. This is why I have to give the Democrats my ass a lot of times, because these are the same fucking Democrats that when Henry Cuellar was running, need I remind you, some of y'all was here at the time when fucking Henry Cuellar was running in the San Antonio area of Texas. Do y'all remember in the year of our Lord 2022, he was running against Jessica Cisneros? Remember that? Some of y'all was here. Jessica Cisneros was a progressive, and the Democratic Party, that's Nancy Pelosi, that is Jim Clyburn, that's Hakeem Jeffries. 1 week after the Uvalde murders, they went to San Antonio to campaign for Henry Cuellar, who was a known pro-lifer, who was a known pro-gun advocate, running around acting as if he was a Democrat who was taking bribes. And your Democratic establishment went and campaigned for him because they did not want a progressive to win that race. And that at the time was Jessica Cisneros, who ended up losing by only 300 votes. But still, your Democratic establishment want fuck bitches like goddamn Henry Cuellar, who's voting with people who are trying to take our right away to vote. These are people who are trying to take our voting rights away from us. But the Democratic base is willfully campaigning for these people because they have such a fucking hard on for progressives who are really out here trying to do the work of the people. You had Pelosi stomping for him in San Antonio. Clyburn was there. Hakeem was there. They were all there in San Antonio campaigning for him while he was openly saying we need more guns a week after the Uvalde shooting. While he was openly campaigning on nobody should put any restrictions on gun laws. While he was openly committing fraud and taking bribes, which he has already been indicted on. These are the fucking people who the fucking Democratic establishment are fucking backing. And then what do? They come and do fuck shit like this and vote along with people who are disenfranchising us. This is why I be getting so mad. This is why I say all of them bastards could go. Because y'all sit here and nobody's gonna say that. You're not gonna hear this on the mainstream media about how not only Republicans, but because what they're gonna say, oh, this was a bipartisan bill, so it must be something the American public agrees with. No, the fuck it's not. It's bitches who want to take our rights from us, and then fucking Republicans cloaking themselves as Democrats in order to gain votes in their respective areas, who are also taking our rights from us. And none of the American people want this. You're making a law for something that does not exist, for a problem that does not exist. You're talking about, oh, we can't prove it, but it must be happening. Where? That's literally what this is. We can't prove it, but it must be happening. It's in the same way you're having whole congressional hearings about trans athletes in colleges, and they go up there and they say, we have over 500,000 athletes in the NCAA. How many trans athletes do you have? Less than 10. And we're having whole congressional hearings about this. We're having whole laws being passed that are stripping rights from us for things that are not happening. Illegal, undocumented people are not going to vote. That doesn't make any sense. But in your mind, it must be happening. Because for you as a white person, or a person who has proximity to whiteness, Henry Cuellar, you literally can't wrap your brains around the browning of America, right? So now you think that there must be this major thing, because there's no way Donald John could have lost the election in 2020. No way. It must be a whole bunch of millions of undocumented people voting. And let's be clear, the only reason he won this past year is because a whole bunch of people decided not to vote. Let me move on before I... oh, God, it's not getting any better. Jesus God. Help me, Jesus. I'm trying not to spike out, y'all. I'm really trying. Here's another one that should incense you. Let me read this to you. The House yesterday passed a bill restricting district court judges from issuing nationwide injunctions in a move that would vastly diminish the ability of courts to block President Trump's policies. Dubbed the No Rogue Rulings Act, the legislation from Representative Darrell Issa of California would limit judges to providing relief only to parties directly involved in the suit. The bill passed 219 to 213. It would bar district court judges from issuing nationwide injunctions even when the matter has an impact across the country, undercutting numerous lawsuits challenging President Trump's directives. Quote, since President Trump has returned to office, left-leaning activists have cooperated with ideological judges who they have sought out to take their cases and weaponize nationwide injunctions to stall dozens of lawful executive actions and initiatives, end of quote. And that's what Representative Issa said. He went on to say, quote, these sweeping injunctions represent judicial activism at the worst, end of quote. Pramila Jayapal, who I've had issues with in the past, but Jayapal, Democratic representative out of the great state of Washington, said, "quote My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want you to believe that somehow these nationwide injunctions being issued by courts across the country against Donald Trump's illegal and unconstitutional actions are unfair. Here's the message. If you don't like the injunctions, don't do illegal, unconstitutional stuff. That simple." End of quote. Now, here's the deal. This is the important part that I need y'all to listen to. Both chambers of Congress have introduced bills to curb nationwide injunctions. Both chambers of Congress have introduced bills to curb nationwide injunctions. Now, they got more serious about this after U.S. District Judge James Boasberg temporarily barred the Trump administration from deporting Venezuelans to El Salvador under the Alien Enemies Act. Let me help y'all understand why this is so scary. So what they're trying to do, because it's not going to stop here. What they're trying to do is Article 1, whose job it is to give oversight to Article 2, has given up all of their power to Article 2, right? But they want to go around Article 2 and have all of the smoke for Article 3, the judiciary. So Congress don't have no smoke for the president and all of the fuck shit he's doing. All of the smoke for the judges who have said this is illegal. And so we must put a nationwide injunction on this, because if it's illegal for one person, it's illegal for everyone. They don't want that. They want to continue to break the law and then do like your president did last week. Oh, that was illegal. Oh, it's too late. We already sent them. There's nothing we can do. And John Roberts just gave them the green light to do that. It's not going to stop there. Because what they're looking to do is they're looking to strip the judiciary of all of their power. Doing things like this now strips the judiciary of their power. And once you strip the judiciary of its power, and you have already acquiesced your power to the presidency, now we are absolutely in an authoritarian dictatorship. It's not going to stop there. There are going to be other laws that these people infringe upon, where they ceremoniously break the law. People sue them for the breaking of the law, and then they say, "Oh, the only people who, that was illegal." Well, there'll be an injunction just for that one person, not the fact that it's affecting thousands or millions of people. We can't let that injunction affect all those thousands of people. Only just the one person who put the lawsuit, who did the lawsuit. And what happens is they know that some of these cases literally take years to be adjudicated. You could literally be 2 years before the final adjudication on a case, which means that over the course of those 2 years, they are still doing illegal things. They're continuing to do things that are illegal, that are subversive to the Constitution with reckless abandon, with no checks to that. Because you've said, oh, that injunction can't be nationwide. It only must affect the one person that that has the lawsuit. And that's only if the judge gives an injunction. Not well, Terrence, Viktor Orban is one of Donald Trump's idols. He looks to Viktor Orban and how he was able to ceremoniously do away with the democracy that was over there in Turkey. And that's the blueprint for Donald John. Here we are. Where am I at? The FDA is in the news. Weeks after ordering all Food and Drug Administration employees back into the office, the agency is reversing course, allowing some of its most prized staffers to work remotely and amid worries that recent layoffs and resignations could jeopardize basic functions like approving new medicines. Because your president, see the setup here? Y'all basically gutted the FDA, right? Told all of these people, either you're fired, and those who weren't fired, the few that are left, y'all got to come into work. Now you have nobody to do these jobs. So now you're trying to get people to stay. Now you know you're going to need people. Why? Because just yesterday, your president announced that he's about to put tariffs on all pharmaceuticals outside of the United States of America. So now all major drugs that come outside of these yet to be United States of America are going to have tariffs on them, which means that there must be more of these pharmaceuticals made here in the country. But that can't happen if the FDA doesn't have the manpower to make sure that these drugs get approved and go through regulatory approval process. Who's going to go through the regulatory approval process for these pharmaceuticals? Because because you're going to put tariffs on all of the other pharmaceuticals outside of the that are made outside of the country, right? You see the circle here? See how they fucked up? And now they're like, oh, well, y'all can work at home. Yeah, as long as you don't quit, you can work at home, because now you need a workforce. But you fired your workforce because according to Elon Musk and Donald Trump and so forth, there was no need for them. Now you need them. Unless you're in the business of having drugs go through no regulatory, because they're against all regulations, right? They're against all regulations. So now you want drugs out there that go through no FDA or regulatory approval. You see what's happening here? This is stupid. Let me move on. I'm spiking out, y'all. Oh God. Well, this is going viral. If you haven't seen it, here's the video.
It's going exactly where you think it is. It's 2025 in high school in Georgia. And that's about to go exactly where you think it is.
There you go. R.
You got 5 seconds. R. 3.
He said R.
Now, there's a phone number on that video. No reason to call it. The school actually acted pretty swiftly and fired the teacher who did that. Now, they failed to identify who he was, but pretty much the internet took care of that. It was assistant wrestling coach Robert Walker. And all that can be explained as far as what was going on, the only explanation given was they were playing some sort of a game. What game was this that they thought that was okay? More importantly, yeah, he's been fired. But I heard a room of what looked like mainly white male students cheering him on. This feels like a I want to be cool with the bros moment while he did that. Like he's trying to get the approval of those kids. And as one parent in an interview I saw said, I feel like now there's a bunch of kids walking around that school thinking this is okay. And it's not. They're lucky their faces weren't in that video as they were cheering, because this could follow them. And as for Mr. Walker there, I don't know what to say other than this is disgusting and disappointing, and you deserve everything that this does to your life from here on out.
Now, this happened at Walnut Grove High School in Loganville, Georgia. Loganville is just about 35 miles outside of greater Atlanta. It's one of those cities that border Atlanta, not very far from the Atlanta area. We're not talking the rural South Georgia. No, we're talking just outside of Atlanta. This is happening. The children are not our future. And I keep telling y'all, these Gen Zs and Gen Alphas are far more racist, discriminatory, and bigoted than their grandfathers were. They have the level of racism, discrimination, and bigotry of their great grandfathers who were alive during the Jim Crow South. That's their level of bigotry, if not worse. That's their level of racism, if not worse. That's their level of discrimination, if not worse. Miss Kiki, you know Loganville is right on over there. Loganville is not far. My aunt stays over in Loganville. I got family over in Loganville. And this is the sentiment of these people in that area. This does not happen if he doesn't know that, oh, everybody's okay with that. That's not a problem. N-word, oh, that's no hard ER, no problem. I'm just telling you what happens. Let's move on. In more sugar spiky news, I told you it was the dossier was packed today. Unfortunately, it was packed with unfortunately, it was packed with a lot of sugar spiky stories, and I apologize. In more sugar spiky news, a civil rights lawsuit alleging a South Louisiana parish engaged in racist land use policies by placing polluting industries in majority Black communities can move forward, a federal appellate court says. On Thursday, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, where democracy goes to die, in New Orleans, ruled that a trio of faith-based community groups could proceed with a lawsuit alleging racial discrimination in the petrochemical build-out in St. James Parish, a region in the heart of Louisiana's heavily industrialized chemical corridor. It is often referred to by environmental groups as Cancer Alley for its high levels of pollution. The lawsuit calls for a moratorium on the construction and expansion of petrochemical plants in St. James Parish. When the lawsuit was filed in March of 2023, 20 of the 24 industrial facilities were in two sections of the parish with majority Black populations. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency found in a 2003 report that St. James Parish ranked higher than the national average for certain cancer deaths. Both majority black sections of the parish are ranked as having a high risk of cancer from toxic pollutants, according to an EPA screening tool based on emissions reported by nearby facilities. Now, listen, why are all of these people texting me? Why, God? Why? Let me turn my phone off because it's going to piss me off. So, what we have here is now the Fifth Circuit said we'll let the lawsuit go. We'll let the lawsuit proceed. Do I have high hopes for this lawsuit, knowing that it is before the Fifth Circuit? I don't have high hopes. I don't at all. Moving on. Moving on. U.S. Representative Ayanna Presley and Chantel Brown of um, Ohio, Ayanna Presley of Massachusetts, Chantel Brown of Ohio, Nydia Velasquez and Nydia Velasquez of New York, all Democrats, are urging the FDA to move swiftly on advancing an already proposed federal rule that would ban a harmful chemical found in some hair products. Quote, ensuring that regulatory actions align with the best interests of public health remain the goal, and we encourage promptly finalizing the proposed rule. End of quote. And that's from the letter to the FDA Commissioner Marty McCary, urging him to follow through on a March deadline to advance the rule making process in order making the process in order to ban formaldehyde, a known carcinogen found in hair relaxers, straighteners, keratin treatments, Brazilian blowouts, and straightening creams. So they're trying to ban uh, um, formaldehyde from these hair products. Congressman Presley said that the delay is, quote, concerning given the established links between formaldehyde exposure and serious health conditions, end of quote. The letter cites a 2022 study from the Department of Health and Human Services that found that the chemical could be connected to myeloid leukemia and hormone-sensitive cancers such as breast cancer, uterine cancer, and ovarian cancer. Representatives Presley, Brown, and Velasquez said that they are particularly concerned about formaldehyde exposure to Black women, who they noted have a heightened health risk and are more likely to receive or provide formaldehyde-based hair treatments, which has a disparate impact on both workers and their hair workers and their customers. The initial federal ban was proposed during the Biden administration, which also oversaw delays of its implementation. The three members of Congress requested a series of answers from the FDA, which has seen job cuts under the Trump administration, including what steps the agency is taking to finalize the proposed rules, whether there are any present challenges to doing so, and whether the FDA intends to study any other potentially hazardous chemicals commonly found in personal care products. Let me tell y'all something. I have no faith in this administration having the FDA go through with this. I have no faith in this going through Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s FDA. Now, I have to fault the Biden administration on that because they should have saw to it to make sure that this got through. Yeah. Listen, D Johnson, I ain't a friend of Chantel Brown either. We remember how Chantel Brown got in that seat. We vividly remember how Chantel Brown got in that seat. Same thing that happened to Jessica Cisneros happened up there in that seat. That was when Nina Turner was running against Chantel Brown. Chantel Brown wasn't even in the race. Nina Turner was light years ahead. And at the very last minute, I think it was like a day or two before you had to declare your candidacy, the Democratic establishment poured millions of dollars and got Chantel Brown from off the side of the road to go and run against Nina Turner, and they primaried Nina Turner. I remember that vividly. Oh, D. Johnson, I'm very clear on who Chantel Brown is. Very clear. Let's move on. Well, let's see what happens with this one. During the past NCAA March Madness tournament, Kaman Malawak became a rising star as a standout freshman center for Duke. After this weekend, the native South Sudan's future in the country is potentially up in the air. A new visa policy, and we reported on that here. A new visa policy announced by the Trump administration on Saturday seeks to revoke visas for all South Sudanese passport holders in the United States and bar any further entries into the country. The move could impact hundreds of individuals currently studying, working, and living in the United States. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the visa policy um, is happening in a timely manner in response to South Sudan's transitional government's refusal to accept U.S. deportees from the United States. They're worried about now. They didn't think this through because y'all forgot that when you put these blanket rules out here, you throw out the baby with the bathwater. So now that's a lot of money. Duke University basketball program is a juggernaut in the NCAA. Duke was just in the Final Four this past weekend. That young man stands to make Duke a lot of money. Duke isn't the only program that has immigrants from across the globe in it. We'll monitor the situation and see if they go through with it. If it's blanket, then that means he has to go back too, right? And Duke University now has to lose a lot of money. Lot of donors down to the Duke University that are also Trump donors. We'll see how this works out. I'm way behind y'all. I think me spiking out on Henry Cuellar made me behind. Whatever. Here's some news. The Trump administration they are laughable. Here's the situation. The Trump administration won't answer reporters' inquiries if they include pronouns in their emails. According to the New York Times, quote, on at least 3 recent occasions, senior Trump press aides have refused to engage with reporters' questions because the journalists listed identifying pronouns in their email signatures, end of quote. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reported the following to news outlets, quote, as a matter of policy, we do not respond to reporters with pronouns in their bios, end of quote. Levitt also told the New York Times that any journalist who includes pronouns, quote, clearly does not care about biological reality or truth and therefore cannot be trusted to write an honest story, end of quote. Let me read that again, as this is a direct quote from the fucking White House press secretary. Quote, any journalist who includes pronouns clearly does not care about biological reality or truth and therefore cannot be trusted to write an honest story. End of fucking quote. Here we are. I have my pronouns in my signature line. So I must not be. Let me move on because I'm still spiking and I'm trying to keep it together. A Florida high school teacher has lost their job for using a student's preferred name. A Florida high school teacher has lost her job simply for calling a student by their chosen name. Melissa Calhoun, a teacher at Satellite University in Brevard County, where education goes to die, because Brevard County is the headquarters and the place where Moms for Liberty was founded. Melissa Calhoun, a teacher at Satellite High School in Brevard County, was denied a contract renewal for the 25-26 school year after allegedly calling a student by their preferred name without their parents' permission. She is believed to be the first fired for refusing to comply with the state's forced outing policy. District officials were notified by a parent that Ms. Calhoun had called their child by their preferred name. Brevard Public Schools spokesperson Janet Mornigan told news outlets, though they did not provide further details. Ms. Calhoun allegedly told officials that she, quote, knowingly did not comply with the state statute, end of quote, and was issued a letter of reprimand. Brevard Public Schools supports parents, quote, Brevard's Public Schools supports parents' rights to be the primary decision makers in their child's lives, and Florida law affirms their right to be informed, end of quote. And that's according to the school district spokesperson. House Bill 1069, passed in 2023, prohibits all employees and contractors of public K through 12 schools from using their preferred titles or pronouns if those, quote, do not correspond to their sex, end of quote. For students, the state board, and that's for the actual adult, that's not even a part for the students. They don't want employees to use preferred titles or pronouns if it does not correspond to their sex. That's for the employees and the contractors. Here's the part for the students. For students, the State Board of Education requires that their parents sign a, quote, parental authorization for deviation from students' legal name form, end of quote, before they may be called by a name or pronouns, even a nickname different from what it is in their records. The bill has been criticized for forcefully outing students, revealing their LGBTQ plus identities without their consent. LGBTQ plus minors who experience forced outing are more likely to develop depression, as well as face less support from their families, according to a study from the University of Connecticut. This is beyond my level. Dozens of students and parents attended a school board meeting Tuesday to speak in support of Ms. Calhoun. A petition launched online to, quote, save Ms. Calhoun's job, end of quote, has received over 10,000 signatures with its issue statement emphasizing that, quote, Ms. Calhoun is an embodiment of what proper education should be: inclusive, understanding, and respectful of individuality. Losing her would be a significant loss to Brevard County's education community, end of quote. One signatory, a former student named Lily, commented, quote, I was a student under Ms. Calhoun for 2 years. She was always a safe place to go for anyone having trouble. Mrs. Calhoun is compassionate, always there to listen, and it absolutely crushed me when I heard the news. This is completely unacceptable and a step backwards in history. I fully support the reinstatement of Mrs. Calhoun, end of quote. The point is cruelty. Hey, Catherine Powell. They don't give a damn, Green Girl. I say that all of the time. They don't give a damn. In our last sugar spiky story, I'm way behind. Thank you. 7 pound, 3 ounce, baby Jesus. A Christian nationalist pastor in Tennessee revealed that he refuses to pass through, quote, gay beam, end of quote, airport scanners because he fears they will make him gay. Pastor Andrew Isker, who appears not to realize his bare status within the LGBTQ plus community, I love this article, made the claim on a recent episode of Contra Mundum podcast he co-hosts with fellow Christian nationalist CJ Engel. A clip of the podcast was posted to social media by investigative journalist Phil Williams. I have the clip. Let me just let y'all hear the clip. Hold on. Hold your line. Hold on. Because I'm not going to give it justice, okay? I need y'all to hear the clip. Hold on. Hold on for a moment. Uh-huh. Okay. So let me make this bigger for you. Here you go.
Where was the Constitution when the Patriot Act was passed? Right? I mean, give me a break. Like, I had to be molested at the airport to go to Florida, right? Just to get on an airplane, because I'm not going to go through the gay beam machine. I didn't let CJ do it. I wouldn't let him do it. Said, you're getting patted down too, buddy. I don't want them turning you gay. It appears having a guy touch you all over the place is on its face seems worse, but you don't really know what those things are doing to you. So
where the imaging goes, or what they're doing,
because it's like
what they're doing in the back room.
They can just take a picture of me
sort of
naked, like no
virtual adrenochrome system back there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. So where was the Constitution when the Patriot Act was passed?
Where do y'all find these people? I really want to know where y'all find these people. I really want to know where y'all find these people. I just need y'all to help me out with that. That's all I want to know. Where do y'all find these people? That's it. That's all. Listen. I have no words for these people. I just report the stories. I don't know what y'all want from me. Okay, I don't know what y'all want from me. Moving on. Y'all go over there and get Beaver Kid, okay? Can y'all go over there and snatch a Beaver Kid up? I think something is wrong with Beaver Kid. So apparently, he says he likes to do video calls with Stevie Wonder, but Stevie never sees him. That shit ain't funny, Beaver Kid. That shit is not. He said he posted on his Instagram a video, a screenshot of a FaceTime chat with Stevie and the Stevie Wonder, and the caption said, quote, "This fool never sees my FaceTimes," end of quote. Okay, so first of all, Beaver Kid, what your white ass is not going to do is disrespect our living, walking legends in the form of Stevie Wonder, because Stevie Wonder has more musical talent in one of his pubic hairs than you'll have in your whole body for the entirety of your existence, sir. What you're not going to do is disrespect one of our walking, living legends, sir. But y'all be around here playing with these people. Y'all be around here letting these people in, okay? Y'all be around here playing with these people. Right, Tracy. We windmills for Stevie. We will fuck you up by Stevie. You must not understand. Well, we won't fuck you up. We'll send you back over there one of the Diddy parties. Let him fuck you up. Too soon for that. It's too soon for that? Is it too soon for me to send him to one of the Diddy parties? Too soon? Okay. We just not gonna let you disrespect Stevie. Y'all go on over there and get Bieber. I never liked his ass anyway. Moving on. We gonna have to go rapid fire with some of these stories. So a New York judge has blocked Tashara Simmons' attempt to claim half of DMX's music and intellectual property. She filed a lawsuit last year against his estate, pointing to their 2016 divorce agreement. But the judge, David F. Everett, wasn't having it. He ruled that the agreement does not confer ownership. In his words, quote, the estate is the sole owner of all intellectual property rights that Earl Simmons acquired during his marriage to plaintiff, as well as any and all other trademarks and intellectual property rights that belonged to Earl Simmons at the time of his death, end of quote. Now, the ex-wife tried to argue that the intellectual property mentioned in their divorce deal included his full catalog. The judge wasn't having it. The judge was not having it. Judge Everett, but DMX had made it clear before he passed that it only meant royalty payments. Judge Everett added, quote, under the circumstances of this case, the court will not, in effect, reopen those proceedings to reinterpret the party's 2016 settlement agreement, particularly where the party best positioned to contest a contrary interpretation is now deceased, end of quote. Basically, honey, you ain't getting none of that money. You ain't owed none of that money. Get out this courtroom. Thank you for coming. Please drive safely. Come with God. So apparently, we ain't get the memo that Toni Braxton and Birdman has been married, and apparently they were going to get divorced. They or get it annulled just 2 days after the ceremony. Toni filed for divorce, but then they worked it out. Now, if y'all remember, Toni had been denying rumors of them getting married for some time. Well, come to find out, they had been married the whole time, and she had just been lying. And they was gonna get divorced, but they worked it out. I'm sorry, Toni. Toni, you're a beautiful woman. How the fuck do you wake up next to that every day? Like, that shit would scare the fuck out of me. If I wake up, open my eyes, stretch, open my eyes, and roll over and see that. Oh shit! Like, I'd wake up scared as fuck. I'm just saying. Like, if I woke up next to that, I'd be like my I want to fight girl.
Fight. I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to fight. Who want to fight? I want to fight.
If I woke up next to that every morning, that's what I would be saying. I'm just saying. I don't know what y'all want from me. But if you like it, I love it, Toni. If it's good for you, it's great for me. I mean, hell, your sister Tamar used to wake up next to Vince every day. And I don't see how she did that all them years. But y'all, let me move on. Y'all Braxton women have bad taste in men. In a blockbuster deal that we're just learning about, Prada is set to acquire Versace for $1.4 billion. The Prada Group announced today that it's acquiring Italian fashion house Versace from U.S.-based Capri Holdings in a deal worth 1.24 billion euros, or roughly 1.4 billion US dollars. The deal marks a major shift in the luxury landscape as Prada strengthens its hold on high-end fashion by bringing Versace, known for its bold prints and high glam silhouettes, into its portfolio which already includes Prada and the trend savvy Miu Miu. Okay. Hey, listen, I don't buy none. I don't wear none of that mess anyway. So, but okay. I mean, for my fashion people, I guess this is a big deal. Just saying. Moving on. Now somebody went and dug up A. Marie from somewhere. Apparently, she's announced that she's going to have a Tiny Desk performance. Baby, I think I know 2 songs by A. Marie. This is just one thing, and then I think she had like another song. Ma'am, how you gonna fit a whole Tiny Desk? I can only it might be another song I know by her. I think I knew another song by A. Marie, but everybody just know this is just one thing, right? And then there was like one other song. What was the other A. Marie? She ain't had no more than 2 songs now. What's the other song? It ain't like Mama got a whole catalog out here. She ain't out here, with albums and albums and albums. Why Don't We Fall in Love? I think is this other song. Why don't we fall in love? I mean, the first album was all right, girl, but girl, you ain't got no catalog for us to be like, oh, girl, we here for this A. Marie Tiny Desk. I mean, hell, Blue Cantrell don't get a Tiny Desk. Sunshine Anderson don't get no Tiny Desk. Where do we draw the line? Sharissa don't get one. Any other night, it would have been cool to chill with Reed. That used to be my jam. No other one hit wonders want no Tiny Desk. I'm just saying. Moke and Steph can't get one. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. I mean, hell, I give Jade, the group Jade, a Tiny Desk before I give you one. At least they had 2 jams. I could do Don't Walk Away and One Woman Man by Jade. If we going with people with 2 hits. I'm just saying. LMVP said if Kevin Hart's alter ego could have a Tiny Desk, so can she. Kevin Hart probably paid NPR to do that. I don't know if A. Marie got that kind of money. Mama ain't had that many hits. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got that kind of money like Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart paid for that Tiny Desk. SWV did do one. Right. SWV did do a Tiny Desk. But I mean, where do we draw the line? Child. She ain't got no lot of song. Paul, well, where you been, Paul? Oh, I think Paul did. Wait, Paul, you been here? No. Did I say hey to you, Paul? You been here, Paul? Where you coming from? Hey, Paul. Paul, she ain't got that many hits. Not for no Tiny Desk. Child. I mean, now she has a Tiny Desk catalog. I mean, you only get like, what, 20, 30 minutes on a Tiny Desk? I mean, you could only do like 4 or 5 songs on Tiny Desk anyway. Child, I guess, girl. The people want to know where's your songs that you gonna do. That's your girl? Tell your girl she need to put out some more music. How about that? I'm just saying. Yeah. Y'all don't went and swatted this woman right here. Nicki Minaj. So apparently, law enforcement swarmed her Hidden Hills home residence last night after someone falsely reported a shooting at the property. According to reports from TMZ and the LA Times, the caller claimed a black woman had been shot at Nicki Minaj's home and that two people were were still on the scene. I don't know why. I don't know why I find this funny. I should not be laughing at this, but I find it funny for some reason. Nicki, you done made one of the Barbs mad, and they done got you swatted, girl. Child. Girl. I should not find this funny now. A lot of bad things can happen to black people when you send police over their home. But it's Nicki Minaj, and it made me laugh. Fab is in the news. Did I tell y'all that I have had a secret crush on Fab since the late 90s when his first single came out in like 1999? I've had a secret crush on Fab, chip tooth and all, since the late 90s. Okay. I think his first single came out, which was Holla Back. Holla Back, youngin', whoop, whoop. Holla Back, whoop, whoop. Holla Back, youngin', whoop, whoop. Holla Back. Remember that? I think that was like his first song way back in the day. That was either like 99 or 2000, somewhere around there. But I remember that song. That was I've had a crush on Fab since then. You mad about it? Anyway. So apparently he said that y'all's girl Hazel-E is a clown. I would tend to agree, but why did he call her a clown? Because she went over there to Natasha K and claimed that his ex-girlfriend died because she had HPV and it caused her to get cervical cancer. Now, that is unconfirmed. That is a rumor. And she even said, well, allegedly, what I was told from a very reliable source, that the woman had HPV that led to cervical cancer, and that's why she died. Now the people are dog walking Hazel-E because they was like, that lady is dead, gone, and went on to be with the Lord. And you over here relishing in the rumors about how this woman went on to be on the ancestral plane. And so when underneath the clip that someone posted, he put a bunch of clown faces. He added her and put a bunch of clown faces. I mean, Hazel-E is a fucking clown. She's a fucking clown. I know he is Oprah, and it'd be all the cute ones that I be liking that just all of the bad things. They also says that he abuses people in the bedroom because he has a penis the size of a baseball bat, and it will cause you to have internal organs rearranged. That's what all of the groupie skanks say. They say he has one of the largest penises in rap music. That's what I've been told. But I know he's a domestic abuser, and I have not listened to his music in a while ever since he came out as a person who commits domestic violence allegedly. It can't stop me from having a crush. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, but Hazel-E is a whole clown. She's a whole clown. One of the girl, I listen, Sam. Hey, there was one groupie skank because I'll be on some of the posts from the groupie skank. One groupie skank said she slept with him and she slept with Nick Cannon, and she said he make Nick Cannon look like a little boy down there, and we know Nick Cannon down there working with a third ass leg, and she say Fab Dick make Nick Cannon dick look like it ain't shit. I'm just saying. Oh, he's not gonna be beating on me because I'll fuck his ass up or shoot him. The first time you graze me, I'm gonna shoot you. I am. Or do like Farrah Fawcett. Was that Farrah Fawcett from the burning bed where she lit that bitch on fire? That man on fire in the burning bed back in the 80s? Was that Farrah Fawcett? Whoever it was in the movie The Burning Bed. Yeah, you'll be done burned to death or got shot. I don't play them games. Anyway, Kanye West is in the news. He just wants y'all to know that he pays $200,000 a month in child support to Kim Kardashian skank. He just wanted y'all to know that. I don't care. How much money is that? Hold on, let me do some math on that. We got that's a month. That's 200,000. That's a couple million. Isn't that like $2.4 million, right? Hold on, let me get my calculator. My mental math says that's 2.4 million. Hold on, let me get my calculator. 200,000 times 12. Yeah, $2.4 million. Mm-hmm. My mental math was good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't really care. That's between you and her. Sir, you're a billionaire with a B. A fucking billionaire with a goddamn B. You think we crying for you? We don't give a damn. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Hey, Jalen. How you doing today, sir? Oh, that was Farrah Fawcett. Thank you. Thank you, Jalen. Thank you, V Card. I couldn't remember if it was Farrah Fawcett or not. It is always the one with the devil dick. With dick of death and cock of doom. That be around here beating on the people. I mean, right on the MVP, we don't care. You pay $200,000 a month and you got it. Get the fuck away from us. You willfully went over there and mated with Kim Kardashian skank. And now we're here. I have no understanding. Oh God, Jesus. On the left, you have the derelict of society. On the right, you have the murderer, or as you all call her, the human, the vocal post-it note. Ray J and Brandy are in the news. So during a recent live stream, Kai Cenat received a call from Ray J, who had an interesting request for him. Ray J asked Kai Cenat, quote, y'all have sleepovers before, right? I didn't mean it like anything. I meant it how y'all meant it. I want to sleep over too. I want to sleep. What are you saying? Because this shit ain't making sense. I want to sleep with y'all niggas too. That's how I meant it. Pause. I know that was a lot. End of quote. He went on to say, quote, but that's what I meant. Is like if y'all was in the shower, then y'all was in the shower, y'all took a shower together. I'm like, shit, I'll take a shower with them niggas like on a stream. Of course, with clothes on, bro. You know what I mean? End of quote. I'm saving y'all from having to hear the whole clip, okay? Well, apparently, people started commenting on what he said. He went to Instagram, his Instagram story, to share a screenshot of some text that he got from his sister Brandy. She sent him the clip asking him to explain himself, saying, quote, come on, Ray, what's going on with you? You're so much better than this. End of quote. Is he? He then went on a lengthy rant in response, apologizing to his family members. Quote, my sister hates who I am. And all I'm doing is being myself. I don't know how to be better than who I am. I tried, but I get depressed trying to change when I don't have a wife anymore and I have no stability. I'm sorry to my sister for who I am and my mom. And I don't give a fuck about nobody else's feelings. But when it's my family, it makes me feel alone. So I turn up more. Stay tuned. To my kids who might see this later when they are older, just know I work hard for you and only you. If it wasn't for you, Melody and Epic, I would have been locked up or dead. End of quote. I'm sorry, I'm crashing out tonight. End of quote. Brandy, do you not know your brother? Hold on, Brandy. You're the reason that we know who you are. You was around here singing, "You'll always be my best friend. Good time in the bad time. I don't know. Said I never do it at the beginning." That was you, Brandy. You introduced this derelict of society to us. We don't even know who this fucktard is if not for you. And now all of a sudden, you're better than this. Better than what? Now here's my question. This is for the Pauls of the world, right? Now, people had issue with the clip because they said the clip made him sound gay. And that's why he had pause. So if Brandy is having issue with that, is Brandy not having a problem with the fact that her brother may be seen as gay, and thus by having a problem with that, then that's her having a problem with gay people? I'm just saying, I'm just by the distributive property of mathematics. To me, that sounds like Brandy is being homophobic. This is for all you, because y'all love windmilling for her. Y'all love windmilling for her. Y'all love windmilling for her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He did say he don't know how to be better. You're better than this. He is? Since when? When he been better than this? Please, Brandy, explain to me when Ray J became better. I just don't know. But by the transitive or distributed property of mathematics, Brandy's a homophobe. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. It's time for me. That's the dossier for today. I'm gonna leave y'all with the fact that Brandy might be a homophobe. I'm just saying. Look at Jayla. Now wait a minute. We just not gonna have you talk about the vocal post-it note. Ciao. Listen, y'all, I gotta get y'all over to Really Be, because Ravine gonna be over there talking about I made y'all late and stuff. Okay, girl. Anyway, I gotta get y'all over to her class. Okay, listen, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Is Friday. We might have a members only live, maybe, or we may do Chase in Dallas tomorrow. We'll have something live tomorrow. Anyway, as I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal president active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. That's how you can make a contribution to this channel. Go ahead and hit that QR code, or you can see scrolling at the bottom, my Cash App at the bottom. I thank you all so much for rocking with me today. I am going to let y'all go over to Really Be. Stay put. I'm gonna send y'all over to Really Be. And yeah, until tomorrow. That's all I got for y'all. Oh, let me take that down so y'all can see me. I'm sorry. Until tomorrow, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all.